Hi, my name is Jason Taylor, and this is my oral presentation for Module 8 for Criminal Justice Class 1410. I've really enjoyed this class and diving into different perspectives and different theories and abnormal and normal behavior. Um, I thought it was very interesting and very eye-opening and enlightening to learn different ways that criminals may think or what maybe influences them to do what they do. Um, One perspective that I wanted to cover here, or the one that I would like to cover, that I found really interesting, and probably the one that I agree with the most as far as what influences criminal behavior, is the sociological perspective. That basically says that society and social influences like friends, family, the media, things like that play a major role and impact a person's life and how they view things, and also possibly their criminal behavior. Um, I think that we covered also normal and abnormal, how people think and what is considered normal and abnormal in different societies and stuff. And I think given the right circumstances and somebody's maybe abnormalities, um, let's say they came from a good home, maybe they're abnormal to the way that we think of them, or of what we think is normal, and the way we live our lives and stuff. But they have some abnormalities, but they come from a good home, and they come from loving parents and people that they have good influences on their life. Their abnormalities may not affect them to the point of becoming a criminal. However, you take the same abnormalities and things like that, and you put them in a situation where they maybe don't have a father in the home, or they come from a home where there's a lot of abuse or drug use or violence and things like that. And I think that's where you start seeing these abnormalities changing their perspective because of the sociological influences that are in their life. Maybe they have a violent mother or father that is very violent to the family, and to them and stuff. Just like Richard Kuklinski talked about his parents, where he lived in, sounded like a very, probably a violent and unstable home. His dad would beat him, even his mother would beat him and things. And then, given the fact that he already had some problems going on in his mind and the way he thought and perceived things, it kind of just violence just became the norm for him, to the point where he started killing people, and didn't even think anything of it. Really had no remorse for it or anything like that. So, but anyways, I think that the sociological perspective is probably the one that I would delve into more and support more. I just think that as kids grow, if they don't have those good influences on their life, it can really affect them. I'm not saying that kids that come from bad homes can't be good people and can't turn out to be good and have good jobs, and hold down a good job, and meet the right person in their life and have kids, and live a normal life. But I think they are at a disadvantage, and I do think that the social influences they have in their life does impact them majorly. One thing that I found interesting, and that my parents have always said, and when I was younger, I thought it was just my parents that were saying this, but now that you read textbooks and experts and psychologists and stuff, the role that a father plays in his children's life is major. A lot of these experts discuss how not having a father figure, whether it be a father, maybe a grandfather, an uncle, something like that, but someone that is a father figure, a male figure that's a positive role, especially in a young man's life, how that impacts them. And if they don't have that, how that can impact that person in a very negative way. And they may act out in certain ways that, if they had that father figure or a dad or something in their life, they may not have turned out the way that they've turned. So I do think that family, friends, good influences, basically it boils down to the fact of what our parents taught us. hang around good people, have good friends. And when we were kids and we weren't hanging out with good friends, or maybe they were friends that had some bad influences on us, our parents would try to steer us clear of hanging out with them. And now as a father, and I'm 41 now, and I have kids myself, but I see where my parents were coming from. But then getting the opportunity to take like this particular class and other classes that talk about how society and how friends and family and things play a role in kind of forming kids' opinion of things, and just how they look at life and stuff, you can really see how important it really truly is. So, like I said, as far as the perspectives that we covered and how criminal behavior is affected, I really like the sociological perspective. I think it hits a nail on the head in how important it is that people, especially kids and stuff growing up, have those positive role models in their life. And not only that, but I think this kind of opened my eyes up to be more of a positive influence. I know kids that don't have a dad in their life, maybe are in a single home with their mother and things, and they're good kids, and their mom's a wonderful person. But I want to do, I guess, through this class, I've realized that if I can help out or just be a positive role model for that kid, being a male, and maybe take them. I like to hunt. Obviously, you can see the deer in the background, but I like to hunt. I like to fish, camping, four wheeling, snowmobiling. Maybe take a kid and you know have them enjoy that, and maybe take them out hunting, in an afternoon, or go fishing with them. Take the boat out and go fishing. Just a kid that maybe doesn't have a male role model in their life. If I can be that role model, I want to be able to do that. So this class and what we've learned has even enlightened me and made me realize that I um, kind of have an obligation to be a good positive role model for these kids. So again, I've enjoyed this class. It's been very enjoyable, very enlightening. Lots of information that was covered, but lots of great information. And I took a lot away from it, and I've really enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thanks.